Long time no video, and honestly, I don't even remember what the last one was where I was actually talking. For people who are new here and for people who haven't really been paying attention, regardless of why that is, general recap. I used to work retail, and long story short, we tried to unionize until things started going very, very badly when, despite us having the majority, people realized that I was not going to be doing all of the work for everybody. I was not going to be the one who carries this into limitless benefits. So it's been a few days. Had a massive migraine, some other stuff happened, but where I think I was with that is the company started some pretty aggressive union busting, and things did not go well. I was thrown onto the bus on purpose so other people could save themselves. This included one of the organizers who had actually gotten me onto trying to help organize, getting a promotion so she couldn't legally do things with unions anymore. Things like that. As you can probably tell, it's been a minute. So if I remember correctly, what I was talking about is, well, I'm a full-time independent artist with a distinct inability to work under most management styles in a formal capacity, because what tends to happen is I have this overwhelming urge to stand up for myself and others. That, or start losing my will to live. The former is apparently very bad for business, and the latter is very bad for me. Both of which are things that I have been told over time are just things that I need to suck up and get back down to business. But what people tend not to realize is when I say I'm disabled, I mean I have the paperwork from professionals who definitely tell me, yeah, this is really bad for you. This is not something that allows you to function within the parameters that other people place on you. Which is why I work for myself, which is also what leads me to this last batch of illustrations of why I'm doing videos again. This started around, I want to say the end of October. There were some things at the beginning, but for all intents and purposes, the end of October. My work was not going so well on paper, and so I reached out to who I thought was community, who had spoken at length before in various stylings that community should support each other, even if it's not financially, but finding ways that you can reach out within your ability. This led to experiences and realizations that people were definitely not taking me seriously when I was asking for disability accommodations. And I was told more than once that I need to change my attitude about the situation and then it would get better. Some of you may also be familiar with the expression, raise your vibration, which is a fancy sideways way to say, think happier thoughts, and then you'll have happier life. I am quite a bit older than I look, sometimes, depending on who you talk to, and I have lived at least a couple, 3 decades being told that I am not allowed to ask for help. And as a member of the LGBT community, coming from a very conservative religious background, I left a false community, running into what seemed like the open arms of a far more progressive, welcoming one. Except when you say something wrong, except when you don't quite fit in, except when people who told you to your face that you have their unconditional support decide that there are actually conditions, and most of them are their comfort level. I have, over the last year or so, tried to put in writing and provide documentation asking for ADA accommodations at various events, after which I was told that other people's comfort zone is more important than my disabilities. One of my multiple disabilities that has been documented by professionals who specialize in those labels, at least, is one you've probably heard of called PTSD. There is a version of it that's not formally documented. You won't find it in DSM or whatever, but the shorthand for it is complex PTSD, CPTSD. And I learned a while ago that in all cases it's not necessarily the single traumatic event that causes PTSD or CPTSD, things like that. It's how people are supported or not supported after an event or a long string of events or while it's going on. And as I start getting older, I realize that even people who talk about supporting others with their mental health, whether it's to the extent of a disability or the fluctuations that we all go through, people don't want to do the work, even if it's almost no effort. They don't want to divert from their comfort zone, even if they talk about leaving their comfort zone for the sake of people in their community. So PTSD and CPTSD is caused just as much by events as how people are supported or not supported before, during, and after them. I was told directly, and near as I can remember the specific words, that I was being controlling and manipulative, trying to manipulate people's emotions and therefore their life choices in asking them to forego an occasional coffee to potentially help me out of a really, really bad position that I am still trying to pick up the pieces. I have been told to go to therapy, which I am already in because of my disabilities, that I shouldn't be so angry and then maybe people would want to help me, and that by asking for support and help in some way whatsoever, that I think I'm more entitled to support than other people. Even people with documented physical and visible disabilities told me that other people were more important than I was because they didn't quite believe me. Studying the ways that other people have done it is immensely valuable, but it's completely irrelevant if it doesn't actually work for you. So why am I making videos again in a much, much different tone than the last 50 or so videos that are on this channel? It's mainly because I have been punched in the throat, punched in the teeth, kicked in the shins, and laughed at while I was tripping by people who said they would never do that because they knew that that had happened to me in the past, and oh, they're different. I have decided over the course of this year to figure out other ways of doing things that may be loosely based on or incorporate the conventional wisdom of how other people have done it. But essentially, my reason for starting videos again, whatever schedule that takes, if it has a schedule, however format changes in the future, whatever topics I feel like doing it about, I'm doing videos again to drive the point home to myself that I can do whatever the fuck I want. And if you are on board for seeing where that actually goes, I welcome you to like and subscribe. I am online way too much, but it's proportional to my ambitions and what I would like to share with you.